Another stunningly beautiful location in Arizona, the Painted Desert.
We're going to a place that you've never heard of before. It's Abnormal Voyages. You're gonna learn something new. We're gonna open new doors. It's Abnormal Voyages.
Greetings, adventurers, and welcome back to Abnormal Voyages. My name is David, and today we find ourselves in the Grand Canyon State, Arizona. Though, of course, that famous canyon is the most well-known site in Arizona, there are quite a few other equally as gorgeous and stunning places to visit. One such location is here, the Painted Desert. With its breathtaking colors jumping right out at you, it is truly a one-of-a-kind location. And if the colors alone weren't fascinating enough, the Painted Desert is also home to a national park. Located inside the Painted Desert, we have the Petrified Forest National Park. Let's get a little closer look. Though this area may be filled with rocks and sand today, it wasn't always a desert around here. There used to be thousands of trees and a very different climate. Luckily, there are remnants from what it used to look like to give us a slightly better idea of not only what kind of area this used to be, but the creatures that used to call this home. So what happened to all these trees, you may be asking? Well, in a process that takes approximately 200 million years, most of them became solid quartz. Over the millions of years, minerals seeped into the underground trees and slowly became crystalline structures, and that's what give these beautiful pieces their color and texture. And even though almost every color of the rainbow is represented here, they mainly come from three minerals. Pure quartz is white, then we have manganese oxide, which forms the blue, purple, black, and brown, and then iron oxides provide hues ranging from yellow through to the red kind of brownish color. Altogether, they form the petrified wood, which of course has given this location its name, the Petrified Forest National Park. There's a great museum here on the grounds that does a fantastic job of not only teaching you about the petrified wood, but showing you some of the remains that have been left behind from the animals that used to live here that are no longer around. There are still a lot of animals that live here today, such as prairie dogs, coyotes, bobcats, various snakes, golden eagles, things like that, but that's very different from who used to call this place home. Considering that it was a vast woodland with a lot more water available, it shouldn't come as any surprise that there were a lot more reptiles and bigger creatures in those days that all lived here. As you walk around, you can look at all the little details left behind in the fossils that they've managed to dig up here in the Petrified Forest. It's really interesting getting this glimpse into the past and just seeing how very, very different it used to be. Fascinating that all it takes is time to turn something from a lush green area to a rocky, barren, sandy area. As the landscape evolved, so did the plants and animals that relied on it. And if you jump ahead a little bit, there's actually about 10,000 years worth of human history here at the park as well, from different tribes and different people who also made this their home. In order to help preserve this area and keep it as beautiful as it is, they also make a point of letting you know that taking any of the petrified wood is very frowned upon. Some people even claim that there's a curse on the wood, and anybody that removes some from the park is going to meet a very unhappy ending. I'm not sure if there's any actual curse around here, but I can definitely see why somebody might want to take some of this beautiful rock home with them. The petrified wood has been left in place exactly as it was found. They didn't move it around to display it better. They decided that having it in its natural habitat was the best way to view it, and I gotta say, I wholeheartedly agree. You could easily spend the entire day just walking around and seeing all the different pieces with all their brilliant color catching just right in the sunlight. There are several sections of this vast park to explore, including one area that's dubbed the Rainbow Forest. And as you view these structures, you can't help but feel the weight of how much time it took to form this wood. But for a completely different type of beauty, we now head south to Saguaro National Park. Now, for those who don't know, saguaro is a type of plant that happens to be Arizona's most famous trademark, the cactus. Here at the National Park, you are greeted with thousands upon thousands of these beautiful, gorgeous saguaro cacti. Rolling into here honestly felt like something right out of a movie. It almost felt unreal, as if you were just walking onto a set or something. It was incredible that this is the genuine, actual landscape. If you're looking for a classic desert landscape, you could do no better than this wonderful national park. Let's take a little closer look at some of the cacti out here. Compared to some of the giant saguaro cactus out here, this one looks pretty small, but as a matter of fact, this cactus is probably older than me. They only grow about 1 inch to 1.5 inches in the first 8 to 10 years of their life, so they'd start out way down here, they continue to grow, they can live up to about 200 years. They don't even start growing arms until they reach the 50 to 75 years. So that gives you an idea of just how old all the cacti out here are. To give you a little perspective on a bigger one, this saguaro behind me is probably about 35 feet tall right now and not yet finished growing. As you can tell, it already has some of its arms going, so I'd estimate this is probably about 100 years old. Amazing. Sometimes the natural world presents some of the most amazing and stunning wonders. I think that these cactus certainly fall into that category. Now, when they pass away, each cactus actually leaves a skeleton of sorts behind. This is one example here. It probably lived to about 100 to 125 years before passing away, and it became this kind of husk of what it used to be. Amazing landscapes like this are part of what make it so important that we have something such as the National Park System in place. An organization that is able to ensure that these beautiful places not only remain like this for all of us, but for all the future generations that are going to come after us. The world would certainly be a duller place without places like this. Well, that's all the time we have for today. My name is David, and this has been Abnormal Voyages. Thanks for tagging along. We'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for watching Abnormal Voyages. Thanks for watching.